of materials later. And then I know Reno sent me a message for some materials. Please let me know if this is not enough. I'll look for other materials that would help you out. Okay? So I'm logged in as a financial controller, right? This is financial. I will go to the financial report portlet. So one of the main parts of our controller dashboard is the financial portlet. So essentially, we have put all of the essential reports in one place for easy access. So all information you are looking for is just one click away, right? If I go up here, you can see financial ratios portlet, right? So financial ratio portlet, this gives you quick access to financial ratios. And if you click one on one, it shows you the formula and the values that contribute to it. You can see the real time and historical operating to effectively run business and manage for growth. Right? So financial ratios score that includes metrics that are built using embedded formula against core NetSuite data provided insight into key business drivers, such as this one, right? This is daily sales outstanding, right? It has a formula to it in order for you to compute. So let's just go here. I'll just show it to you. Okay. When you go to edit, this is what we call the formula here. So you can see here the daily sales outstanding. That is a formula, right? And then we have also inventory turnover and another. And then you can simply add more financial ratio um, formula here, which is part of your KPI. And then you can publish now that on your dashboard. That's why you can see that here. Okay? Okay, so meaning it's 100% configurable. So you can see here also on my left side the subsidiary navigator. So what's the use of this subsidiary navigator? Or sometimes you can see a navigation portlet. So in this one, you can easily configure, see the consolidation. As you can see here, you have 30 million, right? Using the navigator, if I click only the US2 subsidiary, all information on my dashboard will be refreshed and will only show up that relates to US2, which is 14 million, right? And same also to my financial ratio, it is now calculating, and then my reminders is only good for the US1, right? Same also if I use one um, subsidiary, all information will be updated based on that certain um, subsidiary. So that's the use of the subsidiary navigator. Okay, so let me go now to the KPIs, and then I will click the income or profit KPI. So this is the current, right? Okay, so it will bring me to profit and loss. So here we have the profit and loss for the company. So if you click the column on the right side, you will see basic elements that NetSuite uses in account structure, like as location, right? You can see class and department, right? If I refresh this one and make this year, this fiscal quarter, this fiscal year, and then refresh, if you notice, it becomes January to December. Earlier, it was all Feb. And click refresh. It will give me the P&L for that certain, for the whole year under the subsidiary headquarters. And then if I go back here, that's HQ consolidation. If I go here and go to the subsidiary hierarchy and click refresh, the system will give me the P&L per sub. P&L US1 and US2 and then the totals, right? And then same also if I go to the total, Okay. If I wanted to have location, I can have P&L per location. Yeah, San Francisco, New York, and you can click more. P&L per customer based on department, item, location, or class. So you can do that. In this scenario, it was all. It was all. Yeah. And then I can also add more details here in graphical analysis, right? I can export to Excel, right? I can export to PDF, right? To Word, and I can also print, and then I can also send an email for this one. Okay. And then I can also schedule, right? Okay, going back to what I just clicked earlier, the Excel sheet. So this is how it looks like when I export to Excel sheet, right? And then if I want to send this through email, you can see here the recipient and copy who, and then you can have here your message, and then you can also schedule this report. Let's say your manager wanted to run this report or see this report every day or every week, every Thursday, and the start date and end date, or you want it just monthly and send it. So um once it's run based on your recurrence, it will now be sent to your recipient. Okay, that's how it goes. So going back, I'll go back here and show some of the reports. And then if I go now to receivables also, it would bring me to the aging summary, right? If I go and scroll down a little bit on the financial report, I can also click here and show the balance sheet. Same also with the balance sheet, you have other of course these filters. I can have year, this fiscal year, right? Change the subsidiary context. This is just for one specific subsidiary. This is not consolidated. And then I can also have choose which one, and then I can do further analyze that one, and then you can also further include some of the filters here. Okay, let me go back to my home page, and then so that's for balance sheet. I will go now and um, explain the chart of accounts. So on the chart of accounts, I'll go here on my navigation portlet. So I'd see here on the period close. The chart of accounts provide a set of destinations for posting transactions and categorizes this transaction for tracking and reporting purposes. So all information you need is just one click away. So you can see from here the account, the type, and currency, foreign currency balance, and the balance. If I click new, right, you can see you can add one GL account. So it can be under a sub account. You can choose which type of account. If it's bank, it can't be um, used to all of the subsidiaries, right? And then the currency, the general rate, and cash flow rate. So general rate, average, current, and historical will be used for your CTA, right? Consolidated translation adjustment, right? So that would be the use for this general rate. General rate. So we have a consolidated foreign exchange table wherein it will look into what you have inputted here on the general rate, and then CTA will be computed. And then we have also restrictions, right? You can restrict this to department, location, department, class, and location, right? So there are a lot of things that you can do here, and then you can also specify which is subsidiary. Okay? You can easily configure, you can easily segment this. Okay? Let's go to the budgeting. Okay, when I go to the budgeting, I need to scroll down here. And then I go to banking and budget. So in NetSuite you can budget by manually entering data or importing as a CSV. So in this case, I click new budget, right? So you can choose which subsidiary, what year, right? What is the category? Is this new? You can also further slice and dice that one, budget per customer or project, item class department. And then it is very simple, to be honest, the budgeting of NetSuite. Let's say you have to input there 1,000 and apply that, and then distribute. It will be only that one. Or you can fill this and fill all of that one. So that's simple only of the budgeting. That's why you have PBCS to support that other, functionality. And then we have budget versus actual report, right? It compares, and then you can further customize this one. Just click customize there. And then look for you can have, you edit the layout, right? You can add some fields, right? Edit a column, some of the filters that you want to add, right? And then other more options here added, right? Additional preferences. Okay? And then let me go back again. That's for the budgeting. So you can easily configure, hide configurable. And the next one is let's go to the period close, right? Actually, for the period close, I can go on the accounting periods, or I can go here on the period close. I know I have here period close accounting periods. Okay. So on the accounting periods, you can see checklists here. So these are the FY. You can set a full year. So on January period 2017, it has not been closed. I will click that one and it will show this checklist. So Nessit provides a pure checklist with several clicks. You can lock down the GL and the system will then revalue foreign currency balances and will post unrealized gain and losses, which will automatically be reversed at the beginning of the next period. So if I click the lock AR, so for each month, you will come in here, follow each step, and you can see some are locked until you complete the previous steps. And you can also lock this based on the subsidiaries. You can also mark all, so that depends on you also. And then let me go back here. So once you completed all the steps, let me highlight this elimination of intercompany transactions. So this is part of the One World. And then also this is part of the One World that can calculate the consolidated exchange rate, wherein it will be useful when you complete the CTA. Okay? And then for the transition, I will go now to the allocation schedule. It will, yeah, I saw your message, Nan. It will do budgetary control, but it will be triggered based on GL impact, right? It will not be triggered on other scenarios, such as, let me give you an example. This has been raised a couple of times. Let's say that you have, based on quantity, right? It is not based on quantity. Let's say that you have 10 ball pens, and then your budget is, you know, based on the 10 supplies or 10 quantity. So once you are over, you cannot replenish. It can't be done in that manner. It will look into the GL impact. If there's no GL impact, we can't have a control. Okay, so I will go now to the allocation schedule, I'll go to the period close again, and there is an allocation schedule. So I'll click this one. So allocation. So this gives users ability to allocate costs by GL account, um, class, department, or location. So users can choose weight by dollar or percentage, or can even set up a recurring allocation schedule within the system. So these are samples embedded in the system already. And then let's see, I will choose the intercompany. No, 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 no. I will choose, okay, let me go here. On my allocation, it's nice to show the rent. Okay, I'll go to the rent, right, so that you would see how it will be allocated. So you can see here that there is a source and destination account. So let me go first here. This is under the subsidiary of Australia, and then there is a frequency and the next date here, right? So frequency, it depends on when you want to trigger that one, right? And then the next date will be triggered based on how it was set up. And then you have here the allocation mode. Is it fixed allocation or dynamic allocation? Fixed allocation, it depends on what you have inputted here based on the weight, right? And then dynamic allocation means, let's say you 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 configured your allocation based on headcount. So every time that there is an additional headcount for that department, the system will adjust in real time because you inputted the allocation based on dynamic allocation. So it really depends. So fixed allocation based on the fixed sample weight here, and dynamic allocation will be based on the saved search that you created. Let's say an example, as I mentioned, is the head count per department, so it will adjust how many head count. Okay? Because PO doesn't have a GL, so that's why we can do customization for that, but if we're talking about native, not, it can't. Okay, and then let's go to the amortization. Right. If I go to the amortization, so as you know, amortization schedule are generated for purchase transaction containing items and expenses line that have associated amortization templates. So each schedule indicates the posting period in which expenses should be recognized and the amount to be recognized in each period. So in this case, let's say I'll create, I think this, I'll just view this annual prepaid insurance, right, for your amortization. So this comes from a bill, created from a bill. If you click the bill, right, and then I have the annual prepaid insurance template for my amortization, right. I've used a method of a straight line, right, and then these are the journal entries triggered, right, from the amount of 24,000 that needs to be amortized in 12 months. And then this is the schedule, right? So coming from the of source GL account of rent, right? The destination will be same account but different departments. So that's how they wanted to do the allocation. And then what they're using is a dynamic allocation. What did I say? Dynamic allocation, it depends on the weight source and it will be adjusted if there would be addition. So the weight source is based on the saved search that has been created based on the usage um, square foot, right? So that depends on that one. Okay, so that's for the allocation. So let me go and show you the exchange rate, right? Exchange rate. Let's go to exchange rate. Okay, scroll down again, and then I'll go to exchange rates, right? And then I'll just click the unrealized and realize so that I can show that. Okay. So in NetSuite, we have exchange rate tables. So as I mentioned, NetSuite has 190 currencies available to use, and we update them every day. So you'll be able to search for the exchange rate beginning with the opening of your account. We have these rates available for historical purposes. And then we have also consolidated. Let me just type in. Okay. Consolidated exchange rate. This will be used for consolidation. Oh, I don't have data here. How come? Anyway, I'll just choose. The reason behind I'm using the US controller. So that's why if I into all subsidiary, I can't see it. So I'll try to change that one later. So we have also unrealized gain or loss. So unrealized gain or loss work much the same way with realized gain or loss. So this report reports open transaction that post a change in value to the unrealized gain or loss transaction. Like on the other hand, you can see I don't have data. I don't have data, but I'll change this to a different year. Okay, I have now. So we have for the realize. So for example, this is accounts payable. So when you bill, when the bill was paid a month later, the exchange rate was, let's say, whatsoever. So the difference in exchange rate created becomes now the realized gain or loss of a certain amount. So it will be posted here also. Same also with this report, it can be printed, go export to Excel, PDF, or Word format. Okay? And then the next one I'll show is the um, okay. Okay, I'll just show from here the fixed assets, right? So the nested fixed asset provides automated management of fixed asset acquisition, depreciation, revaluation, and retirement, as well as maintenance and insurance. But that's for information purposes also. So as you can see, there's asset proposal, creation, depreciation, revalue, disposal, split, and transfer. So let me go to the asset record just to show you. So in this redemption light, so all of you can see this kind of data in your demo account. So these are the transactions. So if I click view, so you can see here the original cost, asset cost, using the straight line depreciation method, the lifetime, the current value. So you can see from here for the specific asset, right? What kind of asset type, the original cost and asset cost. So all the details that relates to that. So if I go to this general account, you can see other details when it comes to the start and end period of the depreciation. And when I go to the accounts use, right? So this is for information purposes only, the lease and insurance and maintenance, right? And then the tax method. So if you use different depreciation method, this is also for information purposes only. And then asset disposal, if you dispose this item. And then we have also depreciation history, right? And you can see here the journal entry, right? And a lot more. Okay? And then let me go to the, let me go back here and show you some of the journal entries. So I'll go to the navigation portlet and then go to the controller and then I'll just click this journal entry, right? On the journal entry, of course, you know journal entry. This is where you could make our journals and, of course, post transaction from a debit and credit. So you can have also different custom forms here. As you can see, you can post journal entry in different subsidiary and then the different transaction currency. And then you can also do reversing and deferral, right, of the journal entry. And then you can also do memorize transaction, right? So those are the things. So I'll just go to the list and show you some of the see the transactions already for this scenario. And then the next one that I'll show you is the intercompany transaction. Okay, so what is loading? Okay, so that's an example of a journal entry. Okay, if I'll check that one, still loading, and then GL impact, say the same. You can also make copy, so there are a lot of things that you can do, and then they do a slice and dicing here. Remember, there's a departed class and location. So that's it for the journal, and let's go to the intercompany transaction. You need to have the base subsidiary and the two subsidiary, right? Two subsidiary. And then same also, if you notice, there are a lot of items here wherein you can add the subsidiary because it is intercompany journal entry. So it is not just for one specific subsidiary. So I'll just get here and go to the list. And then if I click the list, there are a lot of intercompany transactions that can be make use of it. Okay. I don't have data again. Anyway, if you create from that manner, you need to just have to and from, right? To and from, and then the posting period automates there. Let's say you want to have an account. Receivable, so those are the things. I want to add it. I want to add everything. Okay. And then you can have here the credit. Okay. So that's for the intercompany transaction. This should be the intercompany journal entry, the form. Okay. And then the next one, yeah, we can do intercompany transfer. That's fine. And then the next one that I'll show you is while you're asking questions, the next one is the bank reconciliation. So I need to go to the financial report and click this bank reconciliation. For the bank reconciliation, of course, it speeds up the process in order to ensure the accuracy. So transactions are imported from the bank directly into NetSuite. So automated matching can be used to reconcile the majority of transaction with the minimum effort. So in this case, this is the old bank reconciliation wherein you can input here the ending balance, right? Let's say the ending balance here is 9999, right? And then what you would do is just click in here to reconcile, right? That's also deposits and credits. You have checks, new charges, and new deposits. So based on the ending statement that you have from the bank. But on our new bank reconciliation, you can click this one on your demo account. Click that on your demo account. And then here, you need to upload the statement, right? You need to upload the statement and the system will do the matching, right? So there are certain criteria that has been set in order to do the match. And you can see that what are the not reconciled. So normally those are the outstanding checks, right? Bank charges and so on and so forth, right? Okay. And then the last thing that I would show you is the tax report. So I will go to the administrator because I'm using the US. It is just for US subsidiary. And then I'll go to the reports and then scroll down and go to the I think I'll show you it's good to show this one, the tax and reports, right? And then I'll show you also the subsidiary setup, right? So in this case, we will run the reports that our compliance team has already configured. Let's say I'll go to Korea. Let's see if I have activated the Korea. It would take some time. That's why I'm telling you that you need to pre-populate that if you want to show. So anyway, I'll just go to subsidiaries that while it's loading. So these are the subsidiaries that's in my demo account right now. So I have for America, I have for ANZ, right? I have for Asia, EMEA region. But normally the seeded transactions are in this US1 and 2. There are some seeded transactions here that you can build, right? If you want, and then if you wanted to have very polished also demo account, you can inactivate some of this one that's not needed. Okay, so going back here, so as you can see, I have now the Korean tax, right? It's embedded the form, and then I can print that one, do adjustments, right? I can also show you here the tax from Singapore, the GST. And then let's just go here and let's click, let's say, um, Singapore. Let's view the subsidiary of Singapore. So this is under the sub of Asia. You can also upload the logo. This is country if you want to do some of the elimination, but this is for language of international. And then you can set here the fiscal year and the tax fiscal year. Okay? And then, oh, it's loaded already, so I can see here. Oh, it's Malaysia. What is Malaysia? Singapore, the country form. Okay, so it's loading again, and let me go here in order for you to show you if you want to change the logo. Okay, for this demo account, I'm using Gil, and then if you see my Gil, my company name is Gil Company. So just go to Setup, Company, Company Information, change the company name, and change the logo. So when you do a demo to your prospect, so it will be their name and logo already. Okay. And then if I go here, so this is now for the GST for tax. Okay. I'm sorry, it was some time, huh? It's 1:43.